Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. It's quite early in the morning, so I'm a little bit groggy, but still, I wanted to just show you my February favorites and talk about my card of the month, which was Justice. And Justice traditionally is, to me, Justice, how I would prefer it to be, it would be number 8, like in Tarot de Marseille. And traditionally, Justice seems quite immovable. I don't know, for some reason, she's always quite static. In Jeanne d'Arc, I love how she just looks straight at you, with those huge eyes, just staring at you and like seeing through you. Because obviously, justice, it's about fair judgment. And also for me in this month, it was specifically about keeping balance. And it was really interesting that my favorite depictions of justice cards, for example, from Mud Tarot, I don't know if you can see, I love when justice is not so static. And this depiction of justice was from Victorian Romantic, no, from Victoria Regina Tarot, was on my altar all month long. To be fair, to strive for inner balance requires a lot of strength and a lot of active readjustment of your thoughts, readjustment of your actions, readjustment of your words. So to me, showing justice in some kind of weekend way, I mean, I haven't found too many weak depictions of justice, don't get me wrong, but even the traditional justice seems always a little bit boring. Like, you get justice in the spread and you just go like, eh. Or at least, like, that's what I felt. But spending this month with justice archetype, I did notice how much inner strength you require to actually be just, to speak your truth, to follow your heart, and to keep your life in check. And justice proved me many times this month that I I need to adjust sometimes quite a lot. So especially that around this solar eclipse, which is today, I did lose my balance quite a few times, especially emotionally. So here's a depiction from Gil Tarot. So keeping the balance and weighing the scales and being active in it showed that that requires a lot of strength, and I consider justice to be a very strong card. In the Goddess Tarot, the little booklet says, "Speak only what is true." And this is Goddess Mud, that weighs the heart against the white feather. In Thoth Tarot, it's adjustment, and it's the sign of Libra, which is also talking about seeing, not only your own point of view, but also giving the fair treatment to somebody else's point of view and acknowledging other people's views. I love the colors in this card, this blue and green. And blue always to me is like peaceful mind and some kind of spaciousness, maybe because I lived at the ocean for a few years. And this comes from Tarot Droga. And to me, like, this is that it looks a little bit like Hecate, but um, it's again the judging, before you go off to the underworld. So yes, justice was definitely about keeping the balance, but in this active way. It's not a passive card. And without further ado, I would like to share with you the favorites for this month. I definitely was swamped by the Orosoma system and Orosoma Tarot. I keep learning a lot. This is just me. I cannot get a tarot like this and just not learn. So I'm learning about colors, I'm learning about how the Orosoma sees the energetic systems in the body, and so on and so forth. So this tarot has definitely took off. I got it maybe in the middle of the month, so I have been playing with it since then. And usually what I do, I just pull cards, I do spreads, I do dailies. Dailies take a long time to learn a deck, but I love 3-card spreads. And this is for me a best way to learn about the deck, because that's a practical way and also a personal way. And we know that cards speak to everybody a little bit different. So this Orosoma deck has the bottles in the back, and the specific tarot book for this deck has all the pictures and symbols and suggested meanings. It does touch on the color, but not too much. But then this book has also the bottles, the name of the tarot card, and similar, tones and hues, and the longer description about the color combination that the bottle shows and what issues, psychological issues you might be faced with when you feel drawn to it or where you dislike it, and so on and so forth. So Orosoma Tarot, I will get back to you about the Orosoma system and deck for sure. I am also taking a few bottles. I did also get this Elmoria bottle, which is the pale blue, and it's really good for communication and like inner seeing and like surrendering. It's a little bit, I see it in the tarot, it's Ace of Cups, but to me it's just like a hangman, because it's about surrendering your will to the higher will, to divine will. So in a way, this month with balance card also, it was about learning this distinction between when is it good to act and when the divine will guides you and acts through you, and you do not have to be so active about it. For readings, I actually used quite a lot the Golden Rider-Waite, and it's a very cool deck. I love the usage of pink in this particular deck of Rider-Waite-Smith. It was made from oil painting, so it's a little bit different. I also used quite a lot the Inner Child Tarot. From this has different fairy tales and really beautiful drawings, very childlike. It would be a great deck for children. But it gave me really insightful, meaningful readings, so I was very surprised with it. One of my favorites this month was also Devas of Creation, and this deck is amazing. I'm still, getting to know it, obviously, because it's a new deck, fairly new. It arrived around the same time as the Orosoma Tarot, but I have played with it every day and a few times a day. I love this source card. And it's a great mixture of all sorts of energetic patterns. It's really well explained in the booklet as well. The booklet is really cool. It's a whole system and goes from like the tiniest atom to the biggest, nebulas and cosmic bodies. And it's really beautiful. And the Devic energy is just, it feels very energetic, and it feels very like juicy and full. Another deck that I used quite a lot was the Star Child Tarot, and I am getting used to it, and the readings I get from it are very beautiful. So most of the times I use it for like explorational readings, let's call it. But I have used it for many different readings, including business readings and stuff. I think this deck suits itself well for reading in general, but mostly for people who are a little bit on the new age side, just because the depictions are very out there. So if somebody's more grounded and earthy, I notice that people don't feel drawn to this deck at all. Another deck that I added to my Orosoma collection is Farben der Engel by Darsha Wheeling, and this is an oracle deck of 108 cards, and it's just the bottles that are mixed, so it's color deck basically. And I have been playing with this one. Whenever I pull the Orosoma card, I always pull these ones too. And I was trying to be practical about it. So whenever I pulled, for example, a card, I was trying to incorporate it into my life, into my day. So if I had clothes like this color, like for example, once I had the gold, which looks a little bit like an orange and pink, so I dressed up in all the colors and tried to include the color into my daily life, which was nice. Then from a lovely lady on internet, I received this Heart and Soul Angel cards, and it comes in this little box with this full color, lovely page booklet and little cards, which I love it, because now I'm in this color angelic, bloody hell, vibe. I cannot do anything about it. This was one of the first cards which I drew, and that's the tuning fork, and these are like light workers tools, and I use quite a lot of my chimes this month as well. I use them in the client readings as well. So here you have the spiritual, like spirit animals, and also different mandalas and angelic beings. So these cards are quite sweet and intuitive, but also in the booklet you have quite extensive explanation of the angels, angelic beings. This one was about color. I pulled it too. I was fascinated because the first two cards I pulled the first one was the color one, and the other one was the sound healing one. I was like, wow, yes. So these cards are gorgeous, and I've used also the color Mash Oracle, which is beautiful, just different colors cards, and of course my Tarot of Transformation. I love this deck. This is by far my best friend when it comes to I need an answer. I probably go for this and contact my guide. I've used this deck quite a few times for tarot readings for women, and for myself quite a lot as well, and I really enjoy this deck, this tarot, the Femme Erotique. It's a little bit like between Oracle and Tarot deck, but it's emotional. I love it. It actually hits the emotional point, and somehow just it's spot on. I really enjoyed it. So Le Tarot de Femme Erotique. And I've also from the I used Dreams of Gaia Tarot. There was a IG challenge. I've used and love the Wildwood Tarot quite a lot, and for the new moon and solar eclipse readings, this deck is great. So the Wildwood, and also I've used quite a lot the Pagan Otherworlds and the Circle Tarot. I keep using it a lot. So all these decks, I know it's a lot of decks, but I have been playing with a lot of decks, and I love to combine the Marseille type decks, traditional decks, with all those, colored decks. I love just playing along with different types of decks, and that's how I learn about the decks and how I approach tarot, because it's just this rich symbolism and rich system that can be stretched and mixed and mashed, which is amazing. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you very soon. Have a great week, month, whatever. See you soon. Bye.